الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والجنة للموحدين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We send choices, peace and blessings upon our Master, Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and we begin with salawat, inshaAllah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. اللهم صل على محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد يا رب صل عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد يا Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, tonight we are discussing, of course, the Ihram and Umrah. The Ihram and the Umrah. And the Umrah consists of the Tawaf and the Sa'i, coupled with clipping one's ear. Right? Number one, we need to understand that Ihram is a sacred state. Right? Ihram is a sacred state. And this is a state of both mind and body, into which a Muslim enters for performing either the Hajj or the Umrah. Alright, there is no Hajj or Umrah without Ihram. One cannot perform Hajj or Umrah without Ihram. You can only perform Hajj and Umrah with Ihram. So if you are flying into Makkah, of course, your Ihram will begin on the plane at the location outside Makkah. Alright? As Rasulullah said, Muhallu ahli al-Madinah min dhul Khulayfa, wa muhallu ahli al-Sham min al-Juhfa, wa muhallu ahli al-Yaman min Yalamlam, wa muhallu ahli Najd min Qarn, wa muhallu ahli al-Mashriq min Dhat Iraq. Rawahu Ibn Majah. Nabi Sallallahu said the talbiyah for the people of Medina begins at Dhul Khulayfa, and the talbiyah for the people of Sham begins at Al-Juhfa. The talbiyah for the people of Yemen begins at Yalamlam, because the people of Yemen come from the south. They come from the direction of entering Makkah is from the south. And so because they come from the south, they use Yalamlam as a miqat. And since we also come from the south, they come from the south of Arabia, we come from the south of Africa. Alright? And not the north or the east Africa. Alright? We come from the south side of Africa. So we will also use Yalamlam as a miqat. So all those coming in from the south uses Yalamlam as a miqat. All those leaving Medina or coming via Medina, you will use Dhul Khulayfa as the miqat. Alright? So there is no, and these are the locations of where the Ihram will begin. Alright? Where the Ihram will commence. So there's no passing the miqat without ihram. You cannot pass the miqat without going into the state of ihram. If your intention is for either umrah or hajj, irrespective, even if you are a female at the time of menstruation, if you have your haid, your menstruation, and you're flying into Makkah, or you're leaving Medina going to Makkah, and you have your menstruation, you still have to go in ihram. You still have to go in ihram. Okay, but you cannot perform salah if you're in the state of haid. But salah is not one of the conditions of ihram. For the ihram to be valid, the 2 raka'at of salah of ihram is not a prerequisite. Even if the person don't perform the 2 raka'at of ihram, his ihram is still valid. Alright? So what puts you in ihram? Of course, the donning of the ihram clothing and the niyyah coupled with the talbiyah. Alright? And all those things in menstruation, females, you can do it. No problem in reciting the niyyah. No problem in putting on clothing. No problem in reciting the talbiyah. Alright? So she still has to go in the state of ihram. So if she goes into the state of ihram as she's menstruating, then she will stay in ihram until her menstruation stops. Then she will take the wuzu and perform umrah. She don't need to go to a miqat. She's been to the miqat. She don't need to go to the miqat. But if she entered ihram in a pure state, and then on her way to Makkah, her menstruation started, commenced. And she made niyyah according to the Shafi'i madhab, which allows a female to make niyyah with condition that if she gets her menstruation, she will come out of the state of ihram. So she came out of the state of ihram. And then her menstruation stops a day or two later. Alright? Then she needs to take fresh wuzu, go to the miqat, Masjid Aisha, go in ihram again, make niyyah, come back, then perform umrah. Alright? Everyone understand, females? Ladies understand? Ladies understand? Inshallah. So, cleaning your body, removing hair, clipping nails, trimming the mustache, taking a shower is recommended. This can be done at your hotel in Medina, or if you're going straight to Makkah, this can be done at home. All of this can be done at home. Even your 2 raka'at salah for ihram can be done at home. It doesn't need to be done at the miqat. You don't need to do it on the plane. You can do it on the plane. You don't have to do it on the plane. Alright? Don't be of that people. Waar gaan ek nou salah maak? O ja, Allah, ek mag nie kry op die plane, ek gaan die saai kry op die plane. Maak op die plane salah. Allah said if you can't stand salah, you sit in salah. If you can't sit in salah, you lay in salah. If you can't lay in salah, you can't use your eyes or use your mind in performing salah. There's no excuse for leaving the salah. There is no excuse for leaving the salah. Yes, when the camel moved, the Nabi some prayed on the camel. The Nabi mounted the camel and he stayed on the camel and he made salah. Right? And that is where we get our dalil and our proof that we can make salah on the plane. And if you're traveling, don't be of those that say that, no, I'm not going to shorten my salah. I'm not going to shorten my salah because I want to make my full salah, I want to get the full reward. So Allah put something there to give you half the reward. So the Prophet did something that became his sunnah, just so that you and I can get half the reward. No. It's the only time that we can practice the sunnah of the Prophet when we travel. Shorten the salah and combine the salah because it's the sunnah. It's a rukhsah, it's a leeway that Allah has placed in the Quran. Because yuridu Allah bikum al-yusr wa la yuridu bikum al-asr. Allah says, Allah intends ease for His servants and not difficulty. And do not intend difficulty for yourself. So if you are travel, shorten your salah. It's not about being lazy, follow the sunnah. Combine the salah if you can. Combine it. That is the sunnah. That is why Allah placed it there. Alright? That is why Allah placed it there. Yeah? If you are ill and it's Ramadan and you are able to fast, the doctor tell you you can't fast, you can't fast. You shouldn't be fasting. You're not doing anything good if you fast away. Alright? So don't. The plane can't stop and land for you to perform Isha in the masjid. God, impossible. Alright? Perform your salah. Alright? So it can be done before flying. Alright? It would be unnecessary of the person to do it at home if he's going to Medina first, of course. Then it won't make sense. You go to Medina first, then you go to Masjid al-Khulaifah, you get like it. Or you can perform it in Masjid al-Nabawi, either way. Alright? But don't need for you to do it at home. Because you're not going to Makkah first. But if you go to Makkah first, you can perform the 2 raka'at salah at home. You make 2 raka'at salah for traveling and another 2 raka'at salah for ihram. And then you fly. You put on your ihram on the plane, on your way to Jeddah, and when you're on the plane, you make your niyah. Khalas, it's not, wallah, it's not difficult. Don't make it difficult for ourselves. No, I have to be at the miqat, I have to perform it. No, there's no such thing. It's your have to be, that's your own have to be. Allah make no have to be there. Nabi Sallallahu make no have to be there. Right? It is recommended for you. Alright? So, this can be done before flying. If you're going to Makkah first, if you're going to Medina, then preferably at Masjid al-Nabawi or at Masjid al-Khulaifah. Of course, then you wear your ihram clothes. Preferably after performing one of the daily 5 salahs. Alright, that is preferably after performing Dhuhr or Fajr or etc. etc. Then, of course, once you have performed your ghusl, you go and you put on your ihram clothes. Alright, during this bath, you are allowed to wash you with soap, normal soap, scented soap. You're allowed to use shampoo, scented, liquoric. Smell nice. After Rasulullah performed ghusl for ihram, just before Nabi Sallallahu donned the ihram, Rasulullah did what? He applied perfume. He applied perfume to his body. That's the sunnah. Before you put on your ihram, apply perfume. Apply oud or perfume to your body. Right? A nice scent to your body. That's the sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right? So, if a person forgets to enter the ihram at the miqat, you must either exit Makkah and re-enter Makkah, or you have to pay a dam. You have to pay a dam, or you have to exit Makkah completely and then re-enter Makkah in the state of ihram. Alright, so now the ihram for the male is 2 pieces of plain unstitched white clothing. Neither the head nor the face must be covered of a male with any clothing. Alright, so the male can't wear any stitched clothing. You're allowed to wear a belt. Alright? A belt, any belt you're allowed to wear. Alright? That's for the males. And only open sandals is allowed for males. Only open sandals is allowed for males. For females, the entire Umrah has to be covered completely. And only the hands and the face must be left exposed, open. Alright? Your feet has to be covered from the time that you go in Ihram until the time that you exit your Ihram. You can't put on your socks just before you start your tawaf. It means that from before your tawaf, from the time that you went into Ihram till tawaf, you were not in Ihram. Your Ihram was not valid because your feet was exposed. Your feet has to be covered from the time that you make your niyyah until the time that you cut your hair. Alright? And your face has to be exposed. It has to be not exposed, but what some females do is they niqab, they have to remove the niqab and they use a veil. They rather use a veil because nothing can be attached to the face. Alright, for someone that's in niqab, nothing can be attached to the face. And then the hands as well, you can't wear any gloves. Alright? For females, it's very important. Many females fail at this. And if you look at pictures of the Kaaba, people at the Kaaba, you will see many females, they lean against the Kaaba and the arms is exposed. Their aura is open. You think you're doing something good by raising your hands for dua or crying at the Kaaba, but at the same time you're committing a sin by exposing your aura. Because we have these wide sleeves, So when you automatically you don't intentionally do it to expose your arms, but because in that moment you're raising your arms and you're raising your hands to the sama, it exposes your arms, right? So females, very important to try and get them sleeves, extra sleeves that covers till here. So when you do, unintentionally you're raising it, you in that moment, everyone is hands up to the sama, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. You also asking Allah for your desires, your wants, forgiveness, all. So you are unmindful of what you are doing. But you're exposing, you want to make Allah happy, but sometimes we make Allah unhappy at the same time. As they say, meaning while and doing well is sometimes different. Right? Meaning while, so shukran our sister here from the Ihram Umrah. There's a song called quite exposed here in class. Extra sleeves, right? Females to cover, make sure that your aura is covered at all times. Right? You're performing Umrah. Right? You're performing Umrah. So make sure that the arms, the aura is covered at all times. Right? To wear a ring, permissible. To wear a watch, males and females. You don't need to take off if you're wearing a wedding bag or a ring, or you don't need to take it off. If you're wearing a watch or chain, you don't need to take it off. Alright? You don't need to take it off. Alright, the rules of Ihram: do not fight or quarrel with one another when you are in the state of Ihram. When you are in the state of Ihram, automatically Shaitan becomes Shaitan is Shaitan comes for you. And when it comes to Shaitan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Shaitan in two ways. In Surah Nas, Qul a'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. Right? Malikin Nas, Ilahin Nas, Min Sharril Waswasil Khannas, Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin Nas minal jinnati. He comes in the form of a jinn, and he comes in the form of a human being. He comes in the form of jinn, and he comes in the form of. Do not fight or quarrel with one another. Alright? Do not give Shaitan upper hand. Do not curse, talk sinfully, use any bad language. Do not use perfume in the state of ihram. This includes scented soaps, shampoos, wipes, lotions, etc. Any type of perfume in the state of ihram, it breaks the ihram. Do not cut, pluck, remove any hair or nails during the state of ihram. Do not engage in any form of intimacy in ihram. Do not kill, do not hunt or help others to hunt animals in the state of ihram. Do not propose, do not get married, and do not help others get married in the state of ihram. It breaks the ihram. Alright? Number 3, do not use perfume. This is a very important point. Using soaps, etc., etc. And one of the most common mistakes in the haram during Umrah is that people, Allah protect us and Allah keep us mindful that people during performing Umrah, they go and they lean against the Kaaba, and the Kaaba gets perfume every day. The Kaaba gets perfume every day. So when you perform Umrah, refrain from laying against the Kaaba, touching the Kaaba. Kaaba you can touch again when you go for Salah, you go for Tawaf, etc. But whilst you're performing Umrah, and you're in the state of Ihram, try and refrain from touching the Kaaba. Alright? Because the Kaaba gets perfume every day. There is no such thing as scratching breaks of ihram. I don't know who made that law. Well, I was not correct. There's no such thing. I honestly don't know who made that rule or where it comes from, that you can't scratch. You're not in Salah. Understand in Salah you can't. Right? You say if in Salah, if it's itching there and your hand must make a certain type of movement, you scratch it, you allow 3 movements. But in Salah, you're not haram. If you're not, you can scratch it. I don't know why. Plucking at your hair is a different case here. I think scratching to pluck out your hair, it's a different case. It's upon intention. But if it's itching in a certain place, you're allowed to scratch. It doesn't break your heart. Not at all. There's no, I don't know, I've never ever come across a rule that you can't scratch. Never. Allah knows best. But scratching does not break your ihram. Alright? The men bring the ihram. You assume one bag coming in, 1 or 2 bags. Go. But that's didn't buy ihram. Okay. Was it ihram since here? Huh? Ihram since here? Alhamdulillah. Got ihram since here. This is our sister from Ihram Innovations. She's here to show us what they are selling Ihram is concerned, inshallah. After the class we can see what they have there, inshallah. Support them. Inshallah, they're doing good work. Right, we're going to do the Ihram for the males. Someone have an Ihram for me? For me? I don't have any ihram anymore. I need to do the ihram. Anyway. Alright, there are 2 parts to the ihram. Number 1 is the bottom part, which is called the izar. This part is intended to cover your awrah for a male. This is intended to cover your awrah. Right? The best way to tie the ihram is to first spread your legs. This will give you movement to walk. Right? The best is to spread your legs. Right? There's many ways to tie the bottom piece of your ihram. Number one, many males do this, and they bring this part over again. Alright? Or they put this part in there, they bring that over, and they bring that there. So it gives you like an extra covering in front. Alright? Remember, there's no underwear. Kanala put us belt. No, important. Please. So some men they will do this. Alright? They do an extra piece in front and they roll it up. They have a belt. They don't. No, they have a belt. Kanala belt. I'll need your toe from the toe. Get that over. But you will occasionally. Oh, the belt is not going to hurt me. Alright, the moment you put on the belt, and you tie the belt, right, and you roll it over the belt, it becomes more tighter. Right, it becomes tighter. But as long as the overall from above the navel till below the knees at least is covered with this piece only. Right, and you can make it tighter on the foot. But okay, you get the concept. Right? Tying it up. You don't need to, literally, but this is a good belt to use because of all the pockets that it has. You put your phone, your room card, some money in for your haircut, etc. You know, you put in the belt. So that is the bottom piece, which is referred to as the izar. Right, so you can do it like that. Just tie it there, or you can fold it over once again. Or you can just do it like that. Tie it there, fold it over, becomes tighter. Alright, put the belt over. Alright, that's your bottom piece of your ihram. Alright, you want to be comfortable, you want to be flexible also, you want to be able to walk nicely. You want to be able to walk nicely in your ihram, move nicely. You're going to use the bathroom. You take the bus maybe from Medina to Makkah. The bus driver stops somewhere around Gooks, Nyanga, Dangasar there. You use the toilet there, you come in the toilet, it looks like they work on engines or gearboxes there. You just see only there in the Dangasar, you need to go in with your white ihram. You need to use this bathroom. Shaitan is coming to you. Yo, look out, look here. You just want to lose your iman because Shaitan is knocking on the door. Yes. It's 45 degrees outside. Shaitan is knocking on the door. This driver decided to stop here at fly zone. You just see flies. As a fly zone. Fly sitting. Don't talk about the down that they sell there. Subhanallah. Huh? That same guy that was laying under the bus now is the same guy making the door. Yeah. And he just put his hands in the dirty. He threw you that down, so a gooi weer so aan, so frisbee. Maar Shaitan is knocking. You're in ihram. Shaitan is coming for you. Wallahi, Shaitan is coming for you. Shaitan comes for you, never right and center. Allahu Akbar. The Umrah and the Hajj is no joke. It's a battle. It's truly a battle. A battle with yourself, of course. No, not with anyone else. You have to battle yourself all the time. You have to battle your nafs all the time. You have to battle this your OCD at home. No one must throw a paper on the floor. No one must remove the TV remote. Where is the TV remote? I put it here. Why do you want to move it now? Come OCD down here in Makkah. Allah Akbar. Go Turkey. Go Turkey. Your OCD don't work. Your OCD don't work. No kasam. Your OCD don't work. You that want your milk in first, then the tea bag, then the water, then the sugar. Allah. Come to Makkah. Telling you. Alright, so it's a fight. It's a battle. It's a war. A harb. It's a harb. You know? I always explain that, you know, that piece of wall or opening in the masjid is called a mihrab. Mihrab. Alright? It comes from the Arabic root letters Ha, Ra, and Ba. Mihrab. And the word haraba, harb, means to wage war. To wage war. So mihrab is the masdar. In Arabic it's called the masdar. It's the place where you do something. Alright? So mihrab is the place where you wage war. So what war is being fought there? What war is being waged in the mihrab? The war of the nafs. So every person, so Nabi Zakaria built Maryam alayhi salam in mihrab. Why did he build her in mihrab? To fight against who? So it is to fight against my nafs. I tell my husband, can you turn the one room into a salah room? So he builds you a mihrab in your house. To fight what war? The war of the nafs. Each of us have a war against our nafs. In Makkah you will find that war comes out custom. Alright? So the top part, which is the shirt, the qamis. The qamis. If you're not performing Umrah, alright, if you're not in Tawaf, then preferably this part should be covering your entire top part. If you are not performing tawaf. Right? But the sunnah of Rasulullah is that the right shoulder is open during the first 3 rounds of the tawaf. The right shoulder is open. This shoulder will be facing the Kaaba. This shoulder will be facing the other side. So this shoulder, the right shoulder remains open, either for the entire tawaf or for the first 3 rounds of the tawaf. And then after the tawaf, you cover it again. You cover yourself again completely with the top part. Right? You can either pin it here together, or usually your backpack or your sling bag or your shoe bag will hold it. Your straps will hold it. Right? But for the rounds of the tawaf, we expose the right shoulder, the mid. Right? The left shoulder will be covered. That's the shoulder that is facing the Kaaba. Right? It is facing the Kaaba. The shoulder will remain open. Shoulder. Any questions on the Ihram? Any questions on the Ihram? Bismillah.
Must the Ihram be white?
For the male, yes. For men, it must be white. Yeah. For females, white or black. Preferably white or black. Preferably white or black. But white is the best. As white is the most beloved color to Allah. Right? But black is also fine for Ihram. For females. Right? But for men, the 2 white pieces of cloth. Right? Unstitched. Unstitched. Right? And that is the sign of unity. That is the sign of unity in Makkah. May Allah keep us united, inshallah. So we once again going to make the niyyah, inshallah, for Ihram. And then we're going to continue with the niyyah for Umrah, inshallah ta'ala. So everyone can repeat after me, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma إني أريد العمرة فيسرها لي وتقبلها مني ناويت العمرة وأحرمت بها لله تعالى. We repeat it once again, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni uridu al-umrata fayassirha li wa taqabbalha minni nawaitu al-umrata wa ahramtu biha lillahi ta'ala. Labbaik Allahumma بعمرة لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. And that of course puts us into the state of Ihram. That puts us into the state of Ihram. Right? That puts us into the state of Ihram, inshallah. Let us stand one more time. Let us stand, inshallah. Let us stand. Let us recite our niyyah. Again, we are in Madinatul Munawwarah. We are about to leave.
Mungkin mesti niat si Eric.
Not necessarily, but we have to say the niyyah. For the Shafi'i madhab, we have to recite the niyyah. And remember like this, if you come at the miqat and you make your niyyah and you're not in the state of menstruation, then make the niyyah and add on to the niyyah after everyone has made the niyyah. If you're traveling in a group, after everyone has made the niyyah, add on to the niyyah that if the menstruation should before me, I will come immediately out of the state of Ihram. Unless of course you are comfortable enough to remain in the state of Ihram for the days that you experience your menstruation, and then of course just ghusl and go to the haram. Otherwise, you come out of the state of Ihram, you take your mahram with you, and you go to Masjid Aisha, Tan'im, and you perform, you go re-enter the state of Ihram to perform your Umrah. Right? So what happens if you completed or you came into Makkah, you there for a short period of time, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, or whatever the case may be, and now it comes to the time where you have to leave. You have to go back home. You have to fly home. Alright? And you still have your hair. You still have your hair. Alright? So, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, the Hanbali madhab, we then adopt the view of the Hanbali madhab that the female then take a ghusl, she cleans herself, she goes to the haram, she quickly performs tawaf, and of course the sa'i you don't need to be, you can be menstruating if you're doing the sa'i, but she can quickly complete, but that is just before she goes home. Alright? That is basically the last resort before she leaves for home. Alright? Inshallah. Otherwise, she has to delay. But because we live so far, our delay is not, okay, we're going to go home tomorrow, we live in Jeddah, or live in Riyadh, or live in Medina, then we can, delay it for a day or two. Our delay comes with a lot of cost. You have to get a new flight, pay for hotel to stay extra nights. All of those things, maybe your leave is over and on. You have all those things too. And Islam Allah does not intend difficulty. But that would be lost result. before you leave for us. Inshallah. We are now by the niyyah. Alright, we have done our ihram. We are going to make our niyyah. Inshallah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. نويت العمرة وأحرمت بها لله تعالى اللهم إني أريد العمرة فيسرها لي وتقبلها مني لبيك اللهم بعمرة لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك. So now in the state of Ihram, you're moving towards Makkah. You come to Makkah, you check into your hotel. Your room is ready or your room is not ready. Allah Alam, Allah knows best. Don't lose your iman. Shaitan is knocking on the door. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Alhamdulillah. You can deal with that afterwards. Alright? You're in Ihram, you first want to perform Umrah. Alright? You first want to perform Umrah. If there's time for you to take a nap, to relax, to take a shower, then do that. Get into your room, refresh yourself, remove your Ihram, go take a shower, use either unscented products or use no products at all. Alright? But you are allowed to take a shower. If your Ihram got dirty on the way, you spilled coffee or curry or down, but you're a servant in your dish, in your first dish, on your Ihram, you're allowed to change your Ihram. Right? If you want to put on a new Ihram, you go to the shop, you buy another Ihram, you're allowed to do that, right? You're allowed to refresh yourself. You're allowed to take a nap also if you want to. If you want to, you're allowed to take a nap. Right? You don't need to lay on the blanket. You can cover yourself with a blanket. You're not wearing clothes. Amen? You can cover yourself with a blanket. Right? If you want to take a nap. You don't need to lay on the blanket. Die kamer is 0, please so I'll prefer it's covered because they get no, cover yourself with a blanket. Right? Get home, relax, nap, refresh. If you feel tired, you're exhausted of the drive, of the ride to Makkah, or the plane, or the flight to Makkah, you feel your cigarettes to move, rather go take a nap. Refresh. Even if you Allah put in a certain relationship to us, just hunger, just let quiet, you look moody, come in front of Allah. Mana atina dunia khasana. You is also your so the dunia khasana. Jo, sering kali khasana. Lexus, asana. Alright, so you want to come later in front of Allah. You want to come licking, you want to ask Allah in the liquor mood. You smile and you're happy and you're crying and you're tired, tears of joy and tears of overwhelmingness and shock at the aura of the Haram and the Kaaba and the beauty of the Haram, the beauty of Makkah, etc. So, take your time, there's no rush. Right? There is no rush at all. Alright? The reason you're at the class, the reason you come to class week in, week out, the reason why we are repetitive with this class week in, week out, the reason that we go thoroughly into it and we explain it and we have a role playing with it, ons loop hier om die pinnes, pretend as if we tawaf, making tawaf, we look crazy on YouTube. You know, because the amal is also live on YouTube. You know, we look crazy, we look like some school children that is walking around pillars. But the reason why we do this is that when you're in Makkah and you want to perform Umrah, you can't do it for this one and that one and that. And if this one and that one and that one don't want to go, and they don't feel well, or you can't go. It's very simple. You come out of the hotel, you tell any taxi driver, Masjid Aisha. There's only one Masjid Aisha. He takes you straight to the Miqat. You don't even need to speak English, Arabic, you just say Masjid Aisha. You go to Masjid Aisha, this is the masjid. You make your 2 raka'at salah. You make your niyyah that you have memorized now by now already, inshallah. You come out, you say haram. Khalas. You go to the haram, you perform umrah. You come into the haram, this is the Kaaba. You know my umrah, my tawaf starts at the Hajar Aswad. I will end it there, from there I go Safa Marwa. 7 times, after that I cut my hair back to the hotel. There's nothing complicated about it. We don't overthink it. Don't think, oh, I must get in a taxi now alone, I'm going to get lost. You can't get lost. You just say Masjid Aisha. The taxi driver can't ask you where you want to go, then you say, I don't know. And you at least need to know where you want to go. Alright? We need to at least have Qibla, some direction. I want to go Masjid Aisha. But I need to know how to do this ritual on my own. I need to know how to speak to Allah on my own. I need to know how to worship Allah on my own. That I'm not tied and confined to a group, and a group leader and a spiritual leader. Right? When the spiritual leader is not going, I'm not going. Now I come along, the spiritual leader is my pop. How many umrahs did you do? Needed yet? Why? The spiritual leader only did one. Who told you you must do one? Who told you you must do one once? Allah invited you. It was your calling, your invitation. Don't bind it to someone else. Don't confine it to someone else. Know how to do this ritual. Whether it's the first time that you go to Makkah, whether it's the 10th time, close your eyes. Wallahi, say you walk out of the hotel, Bismillah. Bismillah. Get into the van or taxi or whatever the case may be. Go. Masjid Aisha. You know how to go in the haram. As in everything, leeg oor die kamer, gaan jy deur die YouTube. Oh ja, nou soona, okay, get it. And as you're driving to the Miqat, and I'm placing the attention. Okay, so, now. So what the bookie, I will read that. What's what I bookie? Take the Umrah book with you or something, and there you go. You don't even need to do it, no Google, ChatGPT. Yes. It's so easy nowadays. Not that difficult, but go and enjoy yourself. Go and enjoy yourself. Wallahi, man salla salatan mawadda. Make salah as if it is your last salah. Perform the umrah as if it is your only umrah, your only time. Perform that hajj as if it is your only time, your last time. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. If you went with your sister, you went with your brother, they're lazy, they went to shopping, you don't want to be in the mall, you don't want to be in the haram, why are you getting angry? Let them shopping, you go to the haram. Go. Don't wait. Go. Allah is looking at each person individually. We have individual needs. Our needs are not the same. Our du'as are not the same, Qasam, trust me. Our du'as are not the same, our needs are not the same. Go for your needs. Go for your du'as. Focus on you. Your husband will ask something different to what you are asking. Your wife will ask Allah something totally different than what you are asking. Trust me. She has her needs, her wants, her desires, you have yours. Focus, completely focus. Right? Make yourself a marker. Right? Hier is die Daud, there is al byk, there is, hy 500 jaar, gaan weer terugkom na jou toe. Daar is 2 jaar winkel. Ek moet nog vir dinge so met China, nog present kom aan, vir Sani, Kofiat, sy met die potentie achter. Ek moet nog, maak vir jou, make yourself a marker. You know, that's my marker here. I must be here. You memorize. Wat de foute. Die sy winkel, ek weet ek moet hier wees, die sy 2 jaar winkel, die sy bakenstoel, ek is baie hier so. Make yourself a marker and go. You know, wait, explore. There's no, you can't. So nothing can happen to you. There's nothing but can with you. So you can verdwaal and whatever, but nothing can happen to you. Nothing's going to happen. Safe, completely safe. Explore, don't be afraid, go. If there's one thing about Cape Town, females, hulle wag. Kasam. Jumbo bosom man na my husband, maham. Cape Town, yo. Say Dutch na maham. You are in mushroom slap, no? Allah, what is the one thing? Go, but why don't find your markers first. You make yourself markers. Okay, maybe 79 is here. My dad is this time I came to shuttle. We're taking a shuttle. This is where I walk. Reported. Go, shuttle. Enjoy yourselves. Make the most of it, inshallah. Alright, so now we're in the state of Ihram. We're reciting Tawniya. We're going to Makkah, going to the Kaaba, of course, and then we are going to perform Umrah. The first thing is we are about to perform Tawaf. Alright, the Tawaf is sacred. Alright, the Tawaf is sacred. So first thing you're going to do is walk into the Haram and you're going to lay your eyes on the Kaaba. And then Sayyidina Abu Umama radiallahu anhu that Rasulullah said the doors of the sky open and the eyes are accepted on 4 occasions. Number 1, when the armies clash in war, when the rain falls at the Iqamah for Salah, and when one look at the Kaaba. That the doors of the Sama, it opens. Alright, the doors of the Sama, it opens and the du'as are accepted. So first glance at the Kaaba, make the most of it. Alright, if the person next to you is crying and sobbing and throwing themselves onto the ground, and you find yourself standing there, you are unable to cry. Trust me, there's nothing wrong with you. Don't ask yourself, is it okay with me? Something wrong with me? Why am I not crying? Why am I not crying like he's crying, like she's crying? There's nothing wrong with you. Your ibadah is not spoiled. Your ibadah is not less rewarded because you did not cry. Alright? Your time for cry will come. Allah will allow you to cry when He wants you to cry. And that will be a very special moment for you. When Allah, when that tear drop eventually falls for Allah. Alright? So there's nothing wrong with your ibadah if you are crying. And the person that is crying is not sitting on. Alright? That is their way. We all have different ways of expressing ourselves. Many men don't cry. Many men, they don't. You see your man? I don't see my friends cry, my male friends, I don't see them cry. Right? And then there's someone that comes to the comments. A man will think twice to cry in front of his friend. Alright? Females are different. Naturally emotional. Alright? There's nothing wrong with you, man, if you come. Who's that was bulletin? Alright? Tara bulletin. There's a huika. Alright? And then maybe when we're alone, we will be crying. Then man will be crying. So that is nothing wrong with your husband if you don't see him crying. And overreacting, I react better to him. You say, I say better. No. But that's how you feel inside. He's reacting that way inside. That's me. You know? Each one different. Everyone is different. Alright? Everyone is different. Be patient with one another. Alright? And be patient with yourself also. Be patient with yourself also. One day two people walk behind me, husband and wife, on Hajj. They walk behind me, and I ask them, I come closer. And he says to me, the husband says to me, the wife has a question. She has a question. And she asked to me on Hajj, from Medina to Makkah. I haven't cried. I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't cried once. I don't know what's wrong. And so I asked her, what does Allah so prove to you? What does Allah so show you? Did anything else that Allah has laid out? What do you want Allah to so show you? But I said, what is so what Allah to prove to you? And then I walk. And the next day, different person, different reaction, different. They don't really need to cry. You just need to see the favor. Just see the blessing. Just see, recognize the blessing. When you cry, when you're not crying, just recognize the blessing. Because you're only going to be grateful if you recognize that Allah has blessed you. If you are not going to recognize, if you recognize, I can never recognize the problems. Oh, my stress, my problem, you're never going to take Allah. So recognize the blessings that Allah has given you. Recognize the favors, how Allah favored you above others, others. And that's how we want to thank Allah. Alright? So you're going into the Kaaba, you're looking at the Kaaba. Your du'as are being accepted. Make dua, finish the brothers and sisters. Make dua to Allah. Ask Allah whatever you want to ask Allah. Ask Allah whatever you want to ask Allah. Alright? We don't do it. Yeah, we can send inshallah. But if you let Allah, give us all. Alhamdulillah. Feel at tawaf. By now we should be ready. By now this class should be ready to go to the Haram, to go to Makkah, and I'm be spiritual leaders. SubhanAllah, some years of Hafiz in this class already. Yeah, 5 years in this class already. So we all should be. Yes, so it's overwhelming, I know. And you can hit the blank, no? Once you see the Kaaba, you can hit the blank. Blank, oh blank, nida. Alright, because the Kaaba is mesmerizing and takes you away completely. Alright? So absorb that. There's nothing wrong with you forgetting your dua, you want to recite dua that you wanted to make. The niyyah that you had to make, that you had forgot to make, it was the Kaaba, nothing wrong. Absorb that moment, absorb that moment. Just absorb that moment, right? So the requirements of tawaf, one must be in a physically pure state, the same requirements as salah. One must be in the state of wudu. Alright? For the males, the right shoulder of the men must be open and exposed, like we showed when we did the tawaf, the ihram. Start your tawaf from the Hajar al-Aswad. Alright? The tawaf is not valid from anywhere else, but the tawaf has to start from the Rukn or the Hajar al-Aswad. Alright? One must circle the Kaaba 7 times. You can't do it 6 times, you can't do it 5 times, 4 times, 3 times. You can't finish tomorrow, later, or leave a balance and be in arrears. No, you have to complete 7 rounds. 1 round is not called a tawaf. 1 round is not called a tawaf. It's called a shout. A shout means you circumambulated the Kaaba once. You did 1 round. All 7 rounds together is considered one tawaf. All 7 rounds together is considered one tawaf. So you did not do 7 tawafs. You did 7 rounds and it consists of one tawaf. Alright? That is one tawaf. One tawaf consists of 7 rounds around the Kaaba. Alright? Not 6 but 7. From the Hajar Aswad back to the Hajar Aswad is 1 round. So 7 rounds like that is considered one tawaf of the Kaaba. When approaching the Hajar Aswad, so you are now approaching the Hajar Aswad to start with your tawaf. Alright, so first thing is you do is you raise your right hand and you make the isti'alan. You raise your right hand towards the Kaaba, towards the Hajar Aswad, and you recite what is written on the Kaaba or on the cloth or upiklit. Alright? Allahu Akbar. Or you can recite Bismillah Wallahu Akbar. Raising the right hand, Bismillah Allahu Akbar. Bismillah Allahu Akbar. Any questions?
On the two, can you take
On the wudu.
yeah, on the wudu. Can you take Hanafi doing take the wipe of the hand, take on the card?
Yes. Yes. So, naturally, when we are in Makkah, we adopt the view of the Ahnaf, of the Hanafi, right? Especially where the wudu is concerned. Alright, so because in the Shafi'i madhab, if you touch, alright, it breaks your wudu. Awla maslumun nisa. Alright, if you touch, it breaks the wudu. Alright, but for the Ahnaf, touching does not break the wudu. Alright, a husband and a wife has to be intimate for the wudu to be broken. Right, when it comes to the interaction between the husband and wife. Alright, there has to be that. In the Maliki madhab, there has to be an intention behind the touching. Alright, an intention behind the touching. Alright, for it to be broken. So we adopt the view of the Ahnaf, where the touching of the woman don't break the wudu. The accidental touching of the woman doesn't break the wudu. So in the Shafi'i madhab, usually, accidentally, intentionally or unintentionally, the wudu is broken. Alright? But not when we are in Makkah and Medina. Right? Because we are adopting the view of the Ahnaf, of the Hanafi. Right? So it's permissible for you to take your wife's hand in tawaf. Hold the hand in tawaf. It's permissible for you. Take your wife's hand, hold the hand, look saam met haar hand in hand, say, hou nooit die hand vas nie. At least now, by the Kaaba, under a romantic person, subhanallah, hou die vrou se hand, sy wil die, vlog doen, en die kom te school en whatever the case may be, and the video like that. So no problem, right? No problem. Right, the wudu is then not broken. If the wudu breaks, remember, do we have water bottles there? You know spray bottles? Yeah, get yourself a spray bottle. Yeah, something like this, or something like this, or something like this. Alright, get your 2 spray bottle. When you go to tawaf, you go home, keep some water in this. Right? Because for you to come out of the tawaf, to leave the haram, to go take wudu, to go back, is a mission. So once you have this, just take the wudu of the fard parts. Right? إذا كنتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم, do your face. فاغسلوا وجوهكم. Alright? And then the arms. And then the head. Alright? The head and the feet. And that is the fard parts of the wudu. So you just do that, and wherever you broke your wudu, there you continue with your tawaf. Wherever you broke, say you were the Hajar Aswad, right? By the Hajar Aswad, you keep blowing very, very good. I don't think so. And Bronco, kada dia Bronco ni makan. I haven't seen Bronco. So Bronco is Bunchi ke. Right, so you are the Hajar, you are the Rukn Yamani or the Rukn Iraqi, you broke your wudu, step out. Right? Take your wudu. Right? Make the niyyah nawaitu faqat wudu'i lillahi ta'ala. You take wudu, Allah make intention to perform the farad parts of wudu. For the farad wudu lillahi ta'ala for yourself. If you don't know the Arabic, say that in English, right? You make the wudu only once, yes. You don't need it 3 times in the sunnah. Once is farad. So just once, right? Face, once, feet, once, right? And then the wudu is there. Saya tak boleh dia dalam telefon. Right, so those are things that you learn. Right, once you go the first time, and your bags is overpacked. If you go the second time, there are capitulist. Right, and then if you go a third time, you realize, oh, actually I only needed so much. Alright, so kan maar overweight die eerste keer. Experience it for yourself. Alright? Subhanallah. There's nothing better than this. Wallahi. I tell you, there's nothing better than Umrah and Hajj. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing more meaningful to work for, to work towards. You will ask yourself all the time, why didn't I go long time ago? But it was not your time long time ago. Whenever you find yourself there, that was your time. I remember a 70-year-old uncle standing in front of me, was my room. We done our first Umrah. Come out in the room. Christ. Oh, it is great. He cried. He said, oh, come on, why did I come a long time? How could I have missed out on this? And he's like trying to beat up himself, like, how could I have not come here? It was not your time. Your time is your time. Your time is your time. So whenever you find yourself there, that is your time. Alright, but when you find yourself there, ask Allah, let it not be your last time. Allah take you over and over. Alright? And remember that we are not allowed to break the ihram or break the tawaf or anything else besides the farad salah. The farad salah will automatically break the tawaf. The tawaf is now no longer valid if the farad salah comes in, because the farad salah overrides it, it overpowers it. Alright, but the tawaf will overpower anything else. Any sunnah salah, tahajjud salah, Tarawih Salah, you in Ramadan, you're performing Umrah, you're performing the Tawaf, it will override the Tarawih. It will override the Tahajjud. Right? Sheikh Sudais is standing in front of the Tahajjud Salah. You want to go stand there. You're busy performing Umrah. You can't. Your Umrah, your Tawaf or Umrah is greater than that salah that is performed. Right? That takes a priority. Right? It takes its priority. Unless the farad salah, fajr salah comes in, then you have to break the tawaf. Whether it's a nafil tawaf, whether it's tawaf al-umrah, whether it's tawaf al-ifadah, your farad salah is number one. Farad salah is number one. Right? That takes preference. Alright, and then we make the niyyah for the Umrah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma inni uridu al-Umrata sab'a ashwatin inda baytika al-haram lillahi ta'ala. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. Now remember, if you don't know the niyyah, you can't read the Arabic, you don't know how to read the Arabic, again, don't become despondent. Don't beat yourself. Praat with Allah. Talk to Allah. Allah understands you. Allah understands your heart. He knows the heart. Oh Allah, I am here. Labbaik. I am present. Oh Allah, I responded to your call. And I'm here and I make intention to make 7 rounds around the Kaaba. 7 rounds for Umrah, for my tawaf of Umrah, Lillahi Ta'ala, for your sake. And Allah will accept, inshallah Ta'ala. Dua Umrah God, flash God. Yeah, flash God. I don't know. So, very nice to use as well. It's an Arabic and a transliteration. Right? So we take it out, we make the niyyah, and we start with our Umrah, starting at the Hajar Aswad. Starting at the Hajar Aswad, inshallah. And then ending again at the Hajar Aswad. So now from the Rukn Yamani to the Hajar Aswad, we want to get to the Rukn Yamani, right? It's the Rukn Iraqi, the Mizab, the Shami corner, the Rukn Yamani corner. Alright? The Rukn Yamani corner is the corner, is that side, there. This part here, from there till there. So this corner is called the Rukn Yamani corner or the Rukn Yamani corner, because this corner points towards Yemen. That is why it's called the Rukn Yamani corner. Right? Then you get the Rukn Iraqi corner or the Rukn Shami corner. Shami, it points towards Sham. Right? It points to the Yamani corner. From there until the Hajar Aswad, between this year, we recite the Sunnah Dua, Rabbana Atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. Wa qina adhaban nar. So, to give you a special gift of the Haram, the Prophet ﷺ only made salah on the side. The Prophet ﷺ only made salah on that side, in the Haram. Why? Why? To face Aqsa and the Kaaba at the same time. Because the first Qibla was Aqsa, was Bayt al-Maqdis. And so to face it at the same time, you face that way. And you will face Aqsa. Because usually, if you're standing there in that mihrab, it means it points to the Qibla, to the Kaaba. Right? The Qibla. Our Qibla now points to the Kaaba. In the opposite direction is Bayt al-Maqdis, Aqsa. In the opposite direction is Bayt al-Maqdis. But only at the Kaaba, and only a certain point of the Kaaba, you can face both at the same time. And that is where Nabi Sallallahu made salah. That is where Rasul made salah. Try to go in for your walks. You don't need to be at the corner or against the Kaaba, but on that side. So, to follow that same direction of the same Sunnah. Alright? Inshallah. There's many other secrets to the Haram. There are many other secrets to the Haram. Alright? After completing the 7 tawafs, we now go towards the Maqam Ibrahim. we go to the Maqam Ibrahim and we make salah behind the Maqam Ibrahim. وَاتَّخِذُوا مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. We make 2 rak'at salah. This 2 rak'at is done the same as the 2 rak'ats for Ihram. 2 rak'ats for Ihram, Surah Fatiha, Surah Ikhlas, Surah Kafirun, Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun. Surah Fatiha in the second rak'ah, Qul huwallahu ahad. The same with this 2 rak'at behind the Maqam Ibrahim, right? Same method. Surah Fatiha, Surah Kafirun, first rak'ah, second rak'ah, Surah Fatiha, and head towards Safa and Marwa. Right? There's a big sign in green that tells you, what does the sign say? Doesn't say sign. The sign that goes to Safa and Marwa. There's another wording here. There's a wording on it. Masa. It says Masa. Alright, so the word Masa, it goes towards the Safa and Marwa. But one of the easiest ways, right, to see is where everyone is going. Everyone is going in the same direction. If they are done with tawaf, and all of that, they're moving either back out of the house because they're only taking for tawaf, or they're going to Safa and Marwa. One of the two. They're either leaving the house because they're only taking for tawaf, or they're going towards Safa and Marwa. And if you don't know, you can ask anyone, doesn't matter where he's from, Safa and Marwa. And that's how you find yourself alone. Right? You find yourself alone, by yourself. Right, so we go to Safa and Marwa. Right, you will start at Safa first. Inna Safa, you will go to Safa first. Right? Because the sa'i starts at Safa. And then you make the niyyah, Allahumma inni uridu sa'ya al-umrata بين الصفا والمروة 7 أشواط لله تعالى. Right? So we made the intention of Allah. I intend to perform the sa'i of Umrah. The sa'i of Umrah بين الصفا والمروة, between Safa and Marwa. 7 أشواط, 7 rounds لله تعالى, for yourself. Because everything Walillah. Everything. Walillah. Allah begins the verse of Hajj with that. Walillahi ala nas. Hijjul bait. Man istata'a ilayhi sabila. That walillah. Allah makes it known. And that's why Allah begins the verse like that, so that we can understand that every intention here is walillah, for the sake of Allah. All of it. No chip, no title, no balloons, no welcome back cake. That's all in its place. But the sole intention and purpose is walillah, for the sake of Allah. To find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right, so we start at Safa. Right, and then we go down to Marwa. Right, we walk down to Marwa. Between Marwa and Safa there's a green light. Between Safa and Marwa there's a green light. The men will rumble. The men only, they will rumble between the green lights. You will see everyone is doing the same thing. You don't even need to be confused. You don't even need to get lost, because everyone is doing the exact same thing. All the men is running by the green light. You also move with. Right? Everyone is starting at Safa, going to Marwa, Marwa back to Safa. Right? So from Safa to Marwa is 1. From Marwa back to Safa is 2. And then from Safa again, 3. There to Marwa, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. You will eventually end with your 7th round at Marwa. At Marwa, there's only 2 sets of doors that you can exit. You can't exit anywhere else at Marwa. There's only 2 sets of doors. These sets of doors are on your right hand side. If you come to Marwa, there's two sets of doors in that corner. You can only exit there. You exit there, you cut your hair. Females, wait till you're at the hotel. Alright? Because a lot of females say they're outside, scarf is half off. There's a lot of men there. You're opening your aura. Why? Just to cut your hair. Did you make a she's a pop? She had the pop. Allah. Hala di kalimah. Breathing as and she's a pop. You know, first protect the aura. Just making jokes, right? First protect the aura, right? If you can find a closed space when nobody can see you, your husband can cut your hair, or your mother, or your sister, or your brother, whatever the case may be, can cut you in. No problem, do so. Males also cut your hair if you want to wait till the barber, the hotel, whatever the case may be, do so, right? But then come out of the state of Ihram. Do not panic. Everyone is walking the same direction. Everyone is walking towards the front side of the Ihram, to the clock side. Don't, where am I now? How do I get? Just follow the crowd. Wallahi, everyone is walking the same direction. Same day. You just follow the crowd. And you will see, you will come in front of a clock. And that is your marker. From there, you will know, okay, I have to go there, I have to go there, I have to be like this. Alright? And then, make dua to Allah grant your Umrah maqbool. Maqboolan, inshallah. Any questions? Any questions before we end?
What is the significance of 7 in the tawaf and 7 up and down to the side?
Subhanallah. So the significance of the sa'i being 7 rounds exactly to the point is because Hajar alayhi salam ran 7 rounds. She ran 7 rounds. The significance of the green light is because she used to speed, gain momentum there. She used to walk, run, rest a bit. When she got to the middle section of the sa'i, and because Marwa had an incline, a hill, Safa had an incline, she had to get some speed, gain some speed in order to get to the hill, to get up to the hill. Also, she rushed there because in case she maybe missed someone on a horse or a camel with the right pass, so she didn't want to miss anyone. So she would, build up a momentum or gain a momentum to get up to the hill. And she would run that 7 times between Safa and Marwa. And of course, then it got included into Hajj. Or included in the ritual of Hajj, included Hajj and Umrah. They are running between, or they're going between Safa and Marwa. And originally, of course, at the end of Marwa, of course, was the well of Zamzam. Because it's at Marwa that she laid the baby down, that is mine, and buried it. And the baby gets down. And then the spring came out. The spring of Zamzam came out. And then, of course, become part of the ritual of Hajj, and that is the reason why the rounds are 7 in the tawaf, in the sa'i. The tawaf exists long before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alright? As we know, many of the prophets, hundreds, thousands of the prophets performed Hajj. Alright? So it's not something that exists from the time of Rasulullah only. The only thing that exists really from the time of Rasulullah where the Umrah and the Hajj is concerned is that the Hajj and the Umrah became I don't want to use the word restricted, but Allah made it only for the Muslims. So before that, anyone could perform Umrah and Hajj. Doesn't matter what they were. Like any person could just come to Makkah and perform Umrah and Hajj. Whether he's not coming in with an idol, whether he's a sun worshipper, he could come by the Kaaba and he could perform Hajj, whether he was what. But in the time of Rasulullah, Allah then eliminated that rule and made it only for the Hajj and Umrah. Right? So, but I'm going to do more research on that.
Finish now with the wild side and cutting you cut all day off, right?
Yeah.
Let's say when you want to come back to another Umrah, what happened then if you had no one to cut?
You know that. Yeah, so. Or what the person do that had nowhere to begin with. Voor zijn eerste Umrah uit de kleine jaren. So what they would usually do is they would cut the hair in stages. Right? Because they know already they're here for a certain amount of time, certain amount of days, and they intended to perform more than one Umrah. Say the person will maybe cut the number 1, and then or number 2, then the number 1, then just before they go home, they perform one last Umrah, now they cut over and over. Some people even cut patches. Right? I say study up beside the study, you will see some who walk around like say over the post. Yeah, it looks like a polka socks. But yeah, some cut the hair like that because we will learn there's 2 types of cutting the hair for males. Alright, there's 2 ways to cut the hair for males. For males can either make khalq or taksir. Right? Khalq is obviously the most preferred way, which means to save the head completely. But then permissible is taksir also. Taksir means a minor trimming of the hair. So minor trimming of the hair is vague. Right? It can mean anything. It can mean you're cutting it just shorter. It can mean you're just taking some hair, cutting it with a scissor here. It's also still permissible. Right? But the best and the sunnah is obviously to make khalq. And that's why I also advise if the person is, you're performing more than one Umrah, then cut your hair like that. Like you're either cutting a piece off here or you're cutting a number 2 and a number 1. Before you go home and you do the last Umrah, then cut everything. Right? But generally, if the person now, for example, you don't have hair, there's only a place, that's not all place. Alright, which baie gewees. Alright, then the person will make, for example, as you make wudu. So wudu, you only make masah of your head, meaning you wipe it. So the intention of wetting your head for wudu is there. But there's no head, but the intention is there. Alright, so the person takes the same thing, meaning he wipes over the head, he cuts over the head, but obviously there is no. But the intention behind it is of course not direct to say Allah the only thing is the Safi include the sunnahs of the wudu. So the hands, washing the hands 3 times. Of course, the mouth, the nose, etc. Where the Ahnaf takes it strictly on the verse. On the ayah, just the ayah. So the ayah says, "Faqsilu wujuhakum," wash your face. Yes. So Imam Shafi'i says that the intention is not. Where Imam Abu Hanifa says the intention is not wrong. Yes, so this is the difference between. Yeah. It's all the same. Any other questions? Hajjah Khadija.
How wrong is it for someone to smoke in the state of Ihram?
Okay, my Fitr is low, alhamdulillah. I'm going to end the live now for that question. Just now, like a snippet of the answer.